I am making it publicly known that in no way, shape, or form am I suicidal.
This isn't a line from a horror movie. This is a desperate cry from the victims in Jeffrey Epstein's network, a reality that America is still struggling to face.
I was trafficked to other billionaires. I was trafficked to politicians, professors, even royalty. It was the elite of the world. It was the people who run the world. It was the most powerful people in the world.
As dark secrets remain sealed, another tragedy has emerged. And then the woman who wrote these warning words, Virginia Giuffre, was found dead under mysterious and suspicious circumstances.
Confirming her death at a West Australian property last night. They described her as a fierce warrior in the fight against sexual abuse and sex trafficking.
Her death in the remote region of Western Australia has shaken a political system rotting from within. Her family described her as a fierce warrior in the fight against sexual abuse and human trafficking, a painful affirmation of a life crushed by those in power. But while her family faces this harrowing truth, Donald Trump, on the other side of the globe, wasted no time mourning. Rather than offering condolences, Trump transformed her tragedy into a tale of personnel disputes. He suggested that Epstein stole Giuffre from a spa at Mar-a-Lago, as though she were an object, a misplaced asset.
Mr. President, did one of those stolen, purses, does that include Virginia Jeffrey?
Do it anymore. They work for me. And he took, beyond that, he took some others. And once he did that, that was the end of him. I didn't like, when they steal people, I don't like it. People that work in the spa, I have a great spa, one of the best spas in the world in Mar-a-Lago. And people were taken out of the spa, hired by him.
Absolutely no complaints. That phrase lingers in the air, a grotesque insult to the memory of a woman who dedicated the remainder of her life to fighting the demons that Trump and his powerful friends created. For Trump, the issue was not a young girl being abused, but a staff member lured away by a business rival. This chilling indifference wasn't just an unfortunate slip of the tongue. It exposed a worldview where people are mere pawns. And Mar-a-Lago, that flashy private club, was not just a playground for the wealthy. It was a hunting ground, a starting point for Epstein's supply chain of exploitation.
Where? She got recruited at Mar-a-Lago. She was a locker room attendant at Mar-a-Lago when she got recruited. I'm pretty sure. Can we look that up? I think Virginia...
The connection goes far beyond just hiring staff. It's much deeper, much more troubling. The stories of Trump and Epstein appearing together at casinos with young underage girls are no longer rumors. They are documented testimonies.
One time, on Monday morning, I came in and the commission was waiting. The inspectors were waiting at my office. And Donald and Jeffrey had come into the casino in the wee hours of Sunday morning, 1:30 in the morning. Two buddies. They had three women with them. And the commission was waiting for me because they had determined that the women that they brought down were underage to be on the casino.
This was the environment they lived in. A world where rules were often manipulated, where power and wealth silenced opposition, and where young girls were exploited in ways that dehumanized them. Epstein's network wasn't just about fulfilling personal desires. It also served as a means of leverage, enabling him to maintain control over influential figures.
There is, for the first time, the idea that he was quizzing the girls he sent to famous people for details of what happened for blackmail purposes. That has always been the suspicion that this man had cameras everywhere, that he kept blackmail tapes. That was his leverage.
From U.S. presidents to British royalty, no one was beyond his reach. Virginia Giuffre's story about Prince Andrew is a prime example of the audacity of this network. She was treated like a gift, exchanged between powerful men.
We went to Club Tramp and he danced with me and he sweats a lot and he smells funny. And then we get in the car and Ghislaine tells me in the car that I have to do what I do for Jeffrey for Prince Andrew. And that's when I learned what was going to happen.
The revulsion doesn't just stem from the actions of the abusers. It arises from how they controlled and manipulated everything around them. Epstein didn't merely treat others as pawns. He literally created a chessboard to display it, a depravity flaunted publicly.
The pawns were the Jeffrey S. Epstein's houseman was a man by the name of Jojo, and all of the pawns were Jojo.
In his world, the servants are pawns. The girls are the knights and rooks, and he, of course, is the king. My wife and I went to Paris, and he was there, invited us to his apartment. His girlfriend, a young girl no older than 24, just sat quietly through dinner, a dream girlfriend, as many put it, but in reality, a soul extinguished. Epstein funded her dental education, a Pygmalion-esque act of patronage, molding her to his will, and this criminal operation worked methodically. The Lolita Express wasn't a mere urban legend. It's real, recorded in flight logs. Epstein's homes weren't residences. They were fully equipped crime scenes.
Police interviewed a staggering 40 victims whose ages ranged from 13 to 16. Their accounts were shocking enough. But what they found in Epstein's home was a creepy insight into his depraved life. Dozens of photos, a steam room, and a massage room with...
But how did such a massive crime persist for decades? Because the system failed deliberately. Authorities, the media, and even the justice system turned their backs on the victims. The story of the Farmer sisters is a heartbreaking example. They reported to the FBI in 1996, but were ignored. When journalist Vicky Ward tried to bring their story to Vanity Fair in 2002, Epstein's power triumphed once again.
Epstein got the result he demanded. Maria and Annie Farmer's allegations were cut from the story that went to print in late 2002.
So as the journalist who'd uncovered these allegations and convinced these sisters to go public, what was your reaction to see that your work was not in your article?
Well, I remember bursting into tears and saying to the person who was directly my editor, we've exposed these poor women. I mean, this is unconscionable.
Even when Epstein was arrested, the justice system simply slapped him on the wrist. The plea deal in Florida was a farce, a betrayal of all the victims.
For many, the most outrageous part of Epstein's plea bargain was a seedy deal he struck with the Attorney General for the Southern District of Florida. It gave Epstein and any alleged co-conspirators, known or unknown, immunity from further prosecution, supposedly forever. Worse still, none of his victims were told about the deal.
And the woman behind much of the recruiting and coordinating, Ghislaine Maxwell, wasn't just an organizer. She was an accomplice, an abuser.
A lot of what Jeffrey Epstein got away with, he wouldn't have been able to do without her helping to recruit, groom, and entice underage girls.
But she wasn't just the organizer, was she? She was also an abuser herself.
Yes.
In this context, Trump's panic wasn't just about his reputation. It was the fear of a man who knows the wall of silence is crumbling. The contradictions, the clumsy excuses, everything shows a man trying to run away from his own past. He once praised Epstein to the heavens.
I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy. He's a lot of fun to be with. It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side.
Now as those words come back to haunt him, he tries to deny it all as if the American public has amnesia. The whole affair has evolved into a profound crisis of trust. The American people aren't just facing a horrific scandal. They're facing the truth that the people they elected to lead the country may have been involved in some of the most grotesque crimes, or at the very least, turned a blind eye as they occurred right before them. The fear within the Trump administration is palpable. They know what's in the files.
Why do we think President Joe Biden or President Barack Obama's names are being invoked? Because Donald Trump is running scared. And the Trump administration is running scared. What are they hiding from the American people? Release the files so that the American people...
In the end, all that's left is a mess of lies, concealed secrets, and the unending pain of the victims. America is left with a legacy of distrust and a landslide of misinformation.
And don't forget...
A landslide of misinformation.
A landslide of misinformation. I like it, all right?
I like it. The bitter irony in that statement perfectly reflects the current state of things. While the victims and their families struggle with tragedy, the powerful are playing political games, turning everything into another reality TV show. The White House under Trump wasn't just an office, it was a stage, a film set designed to serve one man's ego, where the truth is twisted and history is rewritten. Meanwhile, the soul of Virginia Giuffre and hundreds of other girls still demand justice. They're not just numbers in court records. They're real people, lives stolen. Their pain is a reminder that behind the flashy names and gold-plated buildings lies a deep, dark shadow, one that America still hasn't truly dared to face. And until they do, Warriors like Virginia will never truly rest in peace.